We are now ready to train our Graph Convolutional Network. I'll just reinstantiate the GCN, move it to the GPU device. I set up the optimizer that I'm going to use for training. That is the Atom optimizer with the learning rate of 0.01 and a weight decay of 5 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4. And we'll use the cross-entropy laws as our objective loss function. Cross-entropy laws because this is a multi-class classification problem. Now that we've instantiated the basic components of our neural network, we are ready to start training. I'm going to time how long the training takes. That's why I have the magic function %% time on line 1. Num in epochs is 200. We'll train for 200 epochs. We move the Cora graph to the GPU device before we start training. On line 6, I run a for loop through every epoch of training. Make sure you call model. Train to switch the model to training mode where gradients will be computed. We zero out the gradients on the optimizer on line 9. We then invoke the model on the Cora graph, that is the forward pass through the model, and then compute the loss based on the model's current predictions. This loss computed on line 13 should only be the loss on the training data because we only want to train on the training nodes and not on the validation and test nodes. And the way we ensure this is by using the train mask that's part of the graph. By comparing the predictions only for the nodes in the training data as we do on line 13 using the train mask, we ensure that we have the training loss. Loss backward will compute gradients and optimizer. Step will update the model parameters for this epoch, and for every epoch, we then get the predictions of the model on the training data on line 19. And then on lines 21 through 23, we compute the number of correct predictions on the training data. We use pre-train and correct train to compute the accuracy of the model on the training data on line 25. And on lines 28 and 29, we print out the training loss and the training accuracy for each epoch. Let's get started with training our model. And here you can see at the very end, after 200 epochs of training, the model has an accuracy of 99.9%. And if you look at the wall time, the model took less than 1 second to train. But the real test of a model is how it did on the test data, call model, eval. So switch the model over to evaluation mode where gradients are not computed. On line 4, after turning off gradients on Torch, pass the graphs through the model and get the predictions. On line 6, we compute the number of correct predictions only on the test data. We are not interested in the training and validation data here. And then on line 8, we compute the accuracy of the model on the test data and print it out to screen. And you can see that the model has an accuracy of about 80% on the test data. So pretty good, but not amazing. Using the same Graph Convolutional Network, we can get a better performing model by using the validation data. Previously, when we trained the model, we did not use the validation data at all to determine how the model performed after each epoch. Once again, I instantiate the model, the optimizer, and set up the loss function as before. This time around, we'll use the validation data to evaluate the model after each epoch and save the model weights for the best performing model throughout the epoch of training. I time the training of this model as before. What's new here is on lines 8 and 9, I have 2 variables instantiated to keep track of the best validation accuracy and the weight of the model with the best validation accuracy. The process of training the model is the same as before, so I won't go through that once again. We iterate through every epoch that we want to run, 200 epochs. The code on lines 13 through 30 is the same as before. This is where we make a forward pass through the model, compute the laws on the training data, compute gradients, and use that to update the model parameters and compute the accuracy of the model on the training data. The code that's new here is where we compute the predictions of the model on the validation data and the validation accuracy to save the best model suites. On line 33, we switch the model to evaluation mode to get predictions on the validation data without computing gradients. On line 36, we make a forward pass through the model and get the predictions on the validation data. We compute the number of correct predictions on the validation data on line 38 through 40. Note the use of the validation mask on line 39 to ensure that we are only considering the validation nodes. We compute the validation accuracy on line 42, and then we check whether the current validation accuracy is the best that we've seen so far on line 45. If it is, we update the best accuracy validation and also copy the current model's parameters to the best model state. And on line 51 through 54, for every epoch, we print out the training loss, training accuracy, and the validation accuracy. Let's go ahead and kickstart the training of this model. With the GPU, you can see that the model only took about 1.17 seconds to train. The best validation accuracy of 80.4% was obtained at epoch 140. And that's the model that we use to get predictions from our test data. So we print out the best validation accuracy and load the model using the best model state. The best validation accuracy is 80.4%, and the model has been updated with those parameters. Let's now evaluate the model on the test data, and we get a test accuracy of 81.7%, an improvement over what we had previously. I now get the predictions from the model for the entire graph and pass that into the visualized function to see how the model has classified the individual nodes in the graph. And here you can see that similar nodes seem to be clustered together. Nodes that are colored using the same color belong to the same class or category.